So inside this video, we're going to look at the 4 steps that you can take to become an online health or fitness coach in 2024. And I did one of these videos about a year ago, and it really was helpful to a lot of people. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do an update, and I'm really going to make it even simpler. And I'm also going to take some of the things that I've picked up from working with a ton more personal trainers and coaches in that time, because since 2018, I've been working with personal trainers on the gym floor, build out their businesses. And then in 2020, when the gyms closed, we needed to transition all the trainers online into online coaching. And I've been doing that ever since, right? So I've been working with trainers and coaches since 2018. And so in that time, I've helped a lot of people who wanted to transition online, and that's what I do to this day, right? I run an academy specifically for trainers and coaches who want to build their online businesses, and they come to me looking for clarity on the simple steps that they need to take to get started and to make progress. And I know this holds a lot of people back in terms of what steps to take, in what order, and people often get overwhelmed. So I wanted to create a simple checklist of 4 things that anyone could follow when it comes to starting an online health or fitness business this year in 2024. So let's talk about this in logical order. And I just want to make this really simple for you. So step number 1 is really deciding on who you want to help. And you may have seen some videos online or read something about you need to be like really niche, or you need to pick a niche, or you need to have an ideal client, or you need to pick a client avatar. So you may have heard one of those things or all of those things. And I think this is a really useful piece of information and step to take. But often I see people do this too soon, and they go like super niche, super targeted before they've even experimented. And when it comes to starting an online coaching business and offer, I would first experiment with various different groups of people to see a couple of things. Who do you attract naturally? And then who do you like to work with online? Because let's just say you're a personal trainer listening to this. You've been a personal trainer for a decade, and you've been working with personal training clients, and they're mainly women. But online, you seem to be attracting all men. And actually online, you like working with men. You would only figure that out if you were willing to do some experimentation to begin with, to see who you attracted and who you naturally like to work with online. Versus what a lot of people do is they take their past experience and then they say, okay, I'm going to transfer that past experience to the online world. And it doesn't always go right. Now, it is potentially a good method to follow, but I would say experiment first. See who you naturally attract, see who you like to work with online, and then you can start niching and narrowing down your audience as time goes on. And that would be my best recommendation and what I do with my clients. Step number 2 is choosing your packages and pricing. And what a beautiful day to shoot this video. So this is where you really start to decide on like what it is that you're actually going to offer and deliver to your clients to get results online. Now, online coaching can be so much more than just a training plan, right? And there's so many things that you can offer. You can offer training plans, you can offer nutritional advice, lifestyle advice, habit advice, you can do check-ins, you can do calls, you can do challenges, you can do so many things. But what I would really consider is what's actually going to get the clients that you want to work with results, because that's the most important thing. Right? You want to try and keep it as simple as possible so that the client can take action, comply, and get results. And different niches and different clients and different people need different things, right? But really trying to understand what do your clients need are going to help you then formulate your packages, your services, and really make sure that you've got a product that fits the market that you're trying to serve. And so just take a pen and paper, write some things down. Think about if you're trying to get results for a specific group of people, what are they going to need? What would you give them? If you only had one shot to really make sure that you get results, what would you give them? Okay. Now, before we move on to step number 3, which is really important, I think it's worth just touching on pricing, because this kind of falls into step number 2, part of the packages and services, where you obviously want to pick the pricing. And some of you may be listening to this and going, well, I don't know how to price it or what to price my programs or services or packages. And that really all depends on what you're delivering, right? Because online coaching can vary a lot. You can sell membership sites, you can sell one-to-one coaching, you can sell group coaching, you can sell 12-week plans or monthly reoccurring coaching. You can sell lots of different things. So it's hard for me to say price it at this price point and this makes sense. And also I don't know where you are in the world right now, so it varies from place to place. All I can say is what I teach my clients and what I've seen work really, really well with the trainers and coaches I work with online. So we used to teach people how to sell like 12-week programs and 16-week programs, but we noticed the marketplace getting a little bit more averse to making big commitments and spending big lumps of cash on coaching. And so we really started shifting to more of a monthly reoccurring model of just selling online coaching month to month, kind of like personal training, right? If someone signed up for personal training month to month, same principle. Or if they signed up to Netflix month to month, same principle. So just like people pay their mortgages, pay their car payments, we've really shifted into that model in the last 6 to 12 months. And that's working really well for our clients, is just selling month to month. And there's pros and cons to this, right? It's much less commitment for someone to say yes to signing up, because like they're not making this big 12-week commitment or 16-week commitment, and essentially they could cancel after 30 days. So there's a pro there for the client, which makes getting commitment much easier. But there's actually a pro for the coach as well, because by just getting someone in the door, if you deliver a great service and they're really happy with what they're receiving, then they're obviously going to stay for more than 30 days. And then it can turn into 60 days and 90 days and 5 months and 6 months. And slowly but surely, you can keep clients for 9 to 12 months like a lot of our coaches do. And so when it comes to pricing, I'm not going to give specifics because it's going to vary from coach to coach, region to region, or depending on what you're offering. But in terms of the model that I really favor, it's that monthly reoccurring model. And I really like the reoccurring revenue element of it, where you know, okay, there's X amount of money coming into the bank each month. Now, I'm going to run through some tools and some things that I think are actually going to be useful for any online coach just getting started and wanting to just get the bare minimums in place, so to speak, when it comes to setting up a online coaching business, because there is tools that I always recommend and tools that pretty much all of my trainers and coaches use. So the first one is a payment processor, right? If you want to have a business, then you need to process payments. Maybe you're already doing that right now through Go Cardless, through Venmo, through Stripe. But in terms of what we use and what we recommend is Stripe. We've used that since 2018. They do charge a small transaction fee for processing the payments, of course, but it's just made our lives very easy to take payments, to set up subscriptions, to send payment links. You can pretty much do everything that you need to do when it comes to taking payments for online coaching with Stripe. So payment processor is number one. And then number two is you could definitely use a pen and paper, but I would recommend using something like Calendly to set up your coaching calls or sales calls or appointments, and to be able to send reminders to clients and maybe leads, so that you really just stay organized with your coaching business. So call scheduler. And then number three is you're going to need some form of way to deliver your online coaching, right? And there's lots of different apps and tools on the marketplace to do that. And you could, of course, use something like Google Sheets, but I would recommend using an app. We use an app in our nutrition and coaching business, and it's just way more professional and just makes you look really credible. And it's going to have all the functions and things that you need in order to deliver a great service. And so I've covered a few different options on my YouTube channel that you may want to check out in some of my previous videos on some of the best personal training apps and software. But just as a top pick, little recommendation segment here, I would choose something like TrueCoach, Coach Catalyst, My PT Hub, Trainerize, or EverFit. Those are like the top 5 that I'm most familiar with, and I see the most coaches using and really liking as a coach. So that's number 3. And then number 4, you're probably going to need some kind of tool to do some calls, maybe even some coaching, maybe even some group presentations or online seminars. And what we use is we use Zoom, and you can use Zoom for free. So it's completely free if you're only using it for 40 minutes per session. But if you want to use it for an hour like we do, then you're going to need to upgrade to the paid option. And this is something that's really useful, right? Because you want to have that in-person feel when it comes to online coaching to build those relationships and deliver a great experience. So something like Zoom can allow you to do that. You can record it. You can then provide the recording to your clients and to your people in your community. So that's really useful. And it's not essential, but it is something that I use every single week and my clients use every single week in their businesses. Now, you could obviously use your mobile, call people via WhatsApp or FaceTime, or even use social media to call people these days. But in my opinion, Zoom is just a really functional thing for online coaches, and we've been using it since about 2020 to deliver online coaching. Now, the final tool is, I'd call it my secret tool, but I don't know how secret or untapped it is anymore, because it's been around for a long time and I've been promoting it pretty heavily, not because I'm affiliated, but because I just love it and it's very useful. And that tool is Loom. And this tool, Loom, you can Google it after you watch this video. It's LOOM, allows you to screen share. It allows you to check in with clients. It allows you to create maybe trainings and resources and educational videos for your clients as well, in a very simple and easy way. And I practically use it every single day in my business. I don't think a day goes by where I don't use Loom. And I think it's great if you actually don't want to jump on a call with a client, or you don't need to jump on a call with a client, and you just want to check in very quickly, but you want to do it in a personalized and powerful way, because you can use Loom to screen record your app. Let's say you're using something like Coach Catalyst. You could pull up the client data, the metrics, everything that they provided you that week. You could do a screen recording, and you could basically deliver them a video check-in. This is something actually we teach inside our academy on how to do this, the framework behind it, but that can actually create a really nice system for you to be able to deliver your check-ins and coach your clients without having to organize and jump on calls. And a lot of niches prefer to do it that way because they're busy, they don't have time to jump on Zoom, and they just want to be able to get their next steps and get clarity on their questions, and then they want to move forward. So Loom, if you just take one thing from this video, it's a powerful tool, one I use every single day and one that I love. So step number 4, and the final step, is choosing your marketing plan. And this can be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to give you some recommendations based on what I give to my clients, and really just the simplest path to getting started with this. So the first thing to consider is, where is your audience? Okay, where have you got the biggest audience right now? Because typically if you start marketing there and promoting your packages or your services, then that's where you're most likely to get a client from, right? Because you've got the most amount of attention there. But another thing I would consider though is specific niches are easier to find in certain locations. For example, if I wanted to work with CEOs, then it's quite easy to find them on a platform like LinkedIn, because they have CEO in their bio. Equally, I could probably find them on Instagram as well, because a lot of people do put CEO in their bio on Instagram, but LinkedIn is the easiest place to find them. However, if I was working with, let's say, emotional eaters don't put that in their bio on LinkedIn, so it's going to be really difficult to find them there. Versus on Facebook, there's dedicated groups for emotional eaters, and if there's people in an emotional eating group, then there's a good probability that they have emotional eating problems, and if I'm serving that niche, then that would be a good place for me to be to connect with that type of audience. And so you want to look at a couple of things. Where is your biggest audience? If that's in multiple places, where are your ideal clients or the people that you want to first work with most likely to be? And if that's quite broad to begin with, then it obviously doesn't matter so much. But like if you know you want to work with a specific group of people, then you want to go where those people hang out, so that when you're promoting your products and services, you're promoting it in the right place. Now, my next recommendation when it comes to this marketing strategy is really including the right pieces of content that are going to be essential to getting clients. Now, a lot of people think it's posting tips and workouts or recipes, and that's just one piece, right? That's what I call value content. And value content is designed to position your expertise and authority, but everyone else is posting content like that, right? So how do you differentiate? Well, the way you differentiate is you create connection content. And this is content designed to give people the opportunity to get to know you and see who is the person behind the business, because that's what's going to separate you, because no one can be you. I can be me, you can be you, but we can't be each other. We're very different, right? And there's certain things about you that make you unique, which are going to repel some people, but also attract other people. And so you want to share some of your life outside of your coaching business to build that connection with the audience that they do business with you. Now, in addition to that, obviously we need results. We need case studies, transformations, and testimonials. But if you're listening to this video, you might not have a lot of those things right now. So what you could do is take those results from your in-person business and use those as leverage, or the next best thing is your own transformation. And I know a lot of trainers and coaches that I've worked with who have had unbelievable self-transformations, and they've leveraged that to get their first 5, 10, or even 15 clients. And so you're going to need those 3 types of things: value content, connection content, and basically vision content, client wins proof that you can get results. And if you throw all those things into the mix and you work on actually making offers on a regular basis to your audience, publicly and privately, in private conversations, then that's going to lead you to getting clients.